Do you want to see beautiful cities like New York City, Miami, Rio de Janeiro, or even countries like China, Vietnam, Netherlands, or Germany underwater? For the past 2 decades, climate change is one of the most serious problems that human is facing right now. Moreover, climate change causes many more issues such as the greenhouse effect, global warming, stronger hurricanes and storms. As a citizen that comes from a country in the danger zone, I'm mostly concerned about the rise of the sea levels. So as responsible citizens, we must work together to find the solutions to stop the sea level from rising with an unstoppable speed before we suffer from the serious consequences. First, I'm going to show you the statistics of the rising sea level. Then, what causes the rate of the sea level keep us accelerating. After that, I will present to you what are the serious consequences if we wouldn't do anything right. Then, what are the available solutions for the problem? And finally, what will happen if we do things right or we wouldn't do anything? Sea level statistics are in danger zone, which is caused by various factors, which are mainly created by humans. If we won't stop sea level from rising so fast, we will face serious problems. The total rise from 1990 to 2009 was 210 millimeters. From 1900 to 1990, the sea level rose about 1.2 millimeters to 1.7 millimeters on average. In the 1990s, the rate of change of the sea level jumped to 2.3 millimeters per year, and during 2016, the sea level is estimated rising at 3.4 millimeters per year. By 2100, scientists expected sea level to rise 0.3 to 1 meter. Sea level is expected to rise 2.3 meters for every increase of Celsius, and the Earth has warmed 1 Celsius already. So, what are the main factors of rising sea level? There are two main factors. The first one is thermal expansion. As the ocean warms from climate change, seawater increases to fill with higher volume, and also the proportion of warm waters is more than cold water. Furthermore, when water is heated at molecular level, they absorb energy, and this energy causes water molecules to move around, and as a result, take more space. The second factor is loss of ice from Greenland and Antarctica. Antarctica holds 90% of the world's ice, and if all of the ice melted, the sea level would rise about 200 feet. It lost 219 billions of ice annually from 2012 to 2017, which tripled the rate from a decade ago, which is only 79 billions annually. During the same period, Greenland lost 280 gigatons of ice per year. If all ice in Greenland is melted, that's enough to put Miami, New Orleans, Amsterdam underwater. Other factors are changes in ocean currents or changes in atmospheric action. So, what are the impacts of rising sea levels to humans? People must migrate from their homes for their safety. Scientists predicted that 72 to 187 million people may have to move away from their homes, which is about 0.9% to 2.4% global population. In the region, in Asia, South, Southeast, and East alone, 52 to 125 million people will have to migrate. Higher sea levels mean that storm surges higher and further inland or in low-lying area. The rising of warm, moist air from the ocean causes the storm to be more powerful. Also, salt water flooded into farmland, which will kill plants, and it will affect agriculture as well as economics. Also, human is not the only kind that will lose their homes, but animals will lose their habitats as well. Now that we have discussed the danger of the sea level to humans and societies, let's see what are the available solutions for us to do to slow down the rate of change of the sea levels. First of all, we must reduce our carbon emissions and cut our fossil fuel use. Building seawalls is another choice for us. These barriers can decrease flooding from tides and storms. These were often built from 9 to 6 feet above the sea levels, and it costs about $600 to $1,200 per linear foot. However, these walls will need to replace when it's damaged by the seawater or when the sea level continues to rise. Rising roads is another option for us. Rising road above the sea can help drain water and reduce tidal flooding. Miami is raising a 2 feet higher road, which costs roughly $2 million per block. If the solution is implemented, we can slow the rate of rising sea level, or we can deal with it at some level. However, if the solution is not implemented, the impact on societies are very serious. If we reduce our carbon emission use, not only we can slow the sea level from rising so fast, but we can also solve other problems which are caused by climate change, such as the greenhouse effect or global warming. Millions of people won't have to migrate from their homes, and we can deal with rising of sea level at some level. But if we chose not to do anything, millions of people will have to migrate, which will cause chaos everywhere. Stronger storms, hurricanes will even affect people who live far in the land. It will damage the agriculture as well as economic and of many countries. Before I finish speaking today, let's remind you all of what we have discussed today, as well as what we can do to help. Sea level has been rising for many centuries, but the rate is accelerating right now. The main factors that cause sea level to rise are climate change and global warming, which lead to thermal expansion and ice loss in Antarctica and Greenland. If we choose not to do anything to stop the sea level from rising faster, we'll have to face stronger storms and hurricanes, which will destroy people's homes. People will have to migrate to other places, which will cause chaos everywhere. It will also affect the agriculture as well as economics in every country. We have some available solution, but we must keep in mind that the solution will take time, and this is not only for our generation's problem, but our next generations as well. We must ask the authorities all over the world to help us solve this problem. Otherwise, humanity will suffer.